If you are obsessed with the podcast Serial, first season, let's be honest here, you're going to lose your mind when I tell you about this story. I'm Caitlin Becker with The Blast, and Adnan Syed is getting a new trial. Are you freaking out? I am freaking out. Adnan, to refresh you, if you aren't as obsessed with this case as I am, Adnan Syed was the subject of the first season of Serial, which chronicled the murder of, at the time, high school student Hae Min Lee. He went down for the murder. He was 17 at the time of the conviction and has been in jail ever since, appealing the conviction any which way the legal system could allow him to appeal. He has maintained, that's a more current photo of him, he has maintained his innocence every step of the way for pretty much over almost a decade now. Today, I think it's the last possible way that he could get this conviction vacated, overturned, a new trial, actually happened. He's getting a new trial. Over the summer, his conviction, I'm trying to count how many trials and convictions and all that kind of stuff that happened. Let me break it down for you in a timeline. Oh wait, this is the best part. This is the 138-page document that was filed today, the opinion by a court of 3 appellate judges who held up the decision to vacate his sentence. He is no longer considered a convicted killer, and he will get a new trial, a fair day in court, some justice. Timeline. As you can see, I'm obsessed. Okay, so back in 1999, Hae Min Lee was tragically murdered. She was a beloved high school senior in Maryland. Same year, Adnan was fingered for the murder. He had first trial, which ended in a mistrial. So then he had to go again and have a second trial. In the year 2000, he's convicted of Hae's murder. 2001, his attorney, Christina Gutierrez, is disbarred. Now, she was disbarred for something that was unrelated to Adnan's case. However, his appeals that just got pushed through it's real noisy over there. Hey guys. Hey, we're live. We're in a real functioning newsroom right here. They are not talking about this because no one else is as freaking excited as I am. So his attorney was disbarred, and his current attorneys essentially have gotten this conviction overturned because of ineffective counsel, essentially saying that his attorney, Christina Gutierrez, did not give him his constitutional right at a fair trial as a defendant. So, Serial aired in 2014. People were obsessed. If you have not listened to the first season of Serial, go back and do it now. Then, when you're done with that, you have to listen to the first season of Undisclosed, which was a subsequent podcast that came out after Serial. Undisclosed was created by 3 attorneys who followed the case, one of which, Rabia Chaudhry, is actually a friend of Adnan's and an advocate for his innocence, and she pushed this whole thing forward all the way to Sarah Koenig, all the way to Serial. So this one woman is almost singularly responsible for getting this conviction overturned. I know there were a lot of people involved. Anyway, the subsequent podcast, Undisclosed, really delved into the legal details, all this stuff, all this goodness. They went through bit by bit, combed through all of the paperwork for his first trial and his second trial, and actually uncovered not only an alibi witness, but some very sort of damning evidence that poked holes through the strongest part of the prosecution and the state's case, which, according to this lovely document, the crux of this means that if a jury at the time of his trial had all of the information presented to them, if his attorney had followed up on the alibi witness and had presented her in court, if she presented this evidence that really poked holes in the state's prosecution case, it would have or could have resulted in at least one juror having reasonable doubt about his conviction. And that is clearly stated in this document, which means he could potentially go free. When the actual new trial will start, it is going to be a zoo. Don't know when that will be yet. These things in court take forever, so you can expect it to probably be maybe even next year, but don't you worry. We will be covering it. And if they won't let me cover it here, I will quit my job. I'll start a GoFundMe. You will have to crowdsource all this information and money, and you guys can put me up in a nice Holiday Inn outside of Baltimore, and I will bring you the case every single day. I vow that. For now, #free Adnan.